You know, guys, the issue of qualifications is still raging within the African National Congress. This comes after the DA basically strong-armed the ANC to release the cadre deployment records. But guys, you know the ANC is the ANC. There is no way they were going to give the DA the juices. So the ANC basically gave the DA the cadre deployment records from 2018 until now. They didn't give the DA the cadre deployment records for when Jacob Zuma was still the president. And I think this is what many people were actually looking to. Because you know, people wanted to know what kind of comrades are these people. For the longest time, the ANC went to the courts trying to avoid to give the DA the cadre deployment records. The ANC wanted to seal the cadre deployment records the same way Ramaphosa sealed the CR17 bank statements. The ANC wanted to seal the records, but the court said no. The court said no, man. They said that if you are going to deploy these cadres to preside over people, it's only fair that the people can see what kind of qualifications do these people have. It can't be that we have the ministers running around and the people on the ground do not even know the kind of qualifications these ministers have. So the courts told the ANC, even the High Court, Constitutional Court, they told them that, guys, you have to release those cadre deployment records. We are not going to seal these records just like we sealed the CR17. No, we are not going to do that. We are going to order the ANC to release these cadre deployment records. So the ANC basically gave the DA the cadre deployment records from 2018 until now. They didn't give them the juices because I think the DA basically wanted to see the kind of people that Jacob Zuma was deploying. The DA wanted to see the qualifications of the people that Jacob Zuma was deploying, because many people actually believe that we have experienced state capture in South Africa. And this is the reason, and this is because of the state of cadre deployment. South Africa today is a broken down society with a broken down state-owned entities. And this is because of cadre deployment. This is what people are saying about the African National Congress. This is the same thing that Thabo Mbeki said about the African National Congress. Guys, if you remember that Thabo Mbeki was crying all over the place, saying that the people today, they are joining the African National Congress not because they want to serve the people of South Africa, but people today, they are joining the African National Congress because they want to get to the gravy train. And I think this is something that the DA wanted to get to the bottom of. But there's no way the African National Congress was going to allow the DA to get to the bottom of that. So they gave them the cadre deployment records from 2018 until now. And they say, man, if you want to fight us again, we can fight. By the time this fight ends, the elections will be done. And I think the DA, man, they feel very frustrated because they wanted to use these things. They wanted to use the juices against the African National Congress going into the elections. So the ANC said, no, we are not going to allow that. We are not going to allow that. We are not going to give you that. And I think the ANC is playing politics too much, because if you look at the situation, it is not only about the DA. Even the people on the ground wanted to know that what kind of people do the ANC hire? How qualified are these people, man? How is it possible that South Africa is so broken down with the African National Congress keep saying that they are doing a wonderful job? How is it possible that the country is so broken down with these people, man? What kind of qualification do these people have? Unfortunately, the ANC does not allow the people of this country to see the kind of qualifications that cadres have. They don't want to see the kind of qualifications that their people have. So, guys, if you remember a couple of days ago, ANC, Fikile Mbalula and his sidekick, Nomvula Mkwenyane, the same woman who told the South Africans that 30 years it is not enough. They were sitting together doing a press conference. Man, you look at Fikile Mbalula and you look at Nomvula Mkwenyane, and the fact that Fikile Mbalula is a Secretary General and Nomvula Mkwenyane is a Deputy Secretary General, it tells you all you need to know about the African National Congress. It tells you how the mighty ANC have actually fallen. Fikile Mbalula, Secretary General, Nomvula Mkwenyane, Deputy Secretary General. So Fikile Mbalula basically said that the African National Congress prioritizes the qualified cadres. The African National Congress only hires the qualified cadres. If you don't believe what the African National Congress is saying, go to the records that they gave to the DA. They are not talking about the fact that we didn't give the DA the cadre deployment records of when Jacob Zuma was still the president, because I think they know. I think everybody knows by now that those records when Jacob Zuma was still the president are the records that actually matter, are the records that South Africans actually want to see. So the African National Congress said, no, we are not going to allow you to use that against us. So we are only going to give you the records of when Ramaphosa became an acting president and when he became the president. We are not going to give you all the juices. So the DA is still trying to fight the ANC for that. So this is what Fikile Mbalula and his sidekick Nomvula Mkwenyane basically told the South Africans about the deployment of the African National Congress concerning this cadre deployment.
Since the early days of our democracy, the DA has been pushing the narrative that cadre policy and deployment policy strategy is the cause of government failure.
But guys, can you blame the DA? Can you honestly blame the DA? When people like Thabo Mbeki say that the African National Congress, the people who are joining the African National Congress, they don't care about the services. The people who are joining the African National Congress, they don't care about the servicing the people on the ground. Can you blame the DA when the DA says that South Africa is broken today and it's because of this cadre deployment? Can you blame the DA? Can you blame the DA? I don't blame the DA. And I think the people on the ground, you know, one thing about this cadre deployment thing is that even the people on the ground, they understand how the African National Congress operates. You can ask every single person who has decided to join the African National Congress. They think that one day, it may not be today, it may not be next year, but one day, if I'm a good standing member of the African National Congress, I am going to be given some position that I'm not even qualified for. One day, the African National Congress is going to thank me for being a good standing member of the party by giving me this position that I don't even deserve. This is the feeling that you are even getting on the ground. The people on the ground, they even understand this is how the African National Congress operates. So I don't understand how is it possible for Fikile Mbalula to go on national television to say that the African National Congress only prioritizes the people with qualifications. Everyone knows it's a lie. Even their former president is saying that it is a lie.
Since the early days of our democracy, the DA has been pushing the narrative that cadre policy and deployment policy strategy is the cause of government failure, because this is ostensibly about destroying people who have no qualifications and competencies for the positions for which they are deployed.
But why would you want to deploy the people with no qualifications? Of course, the people with no qualifications, they have no place in our government. The people with no qualifications, they have no place within our government. I know the African National Congress is going to take this route of saying that the DA is just a racist party that doesn't want our people to be empowered. But there's no way that you're going to tell me that you're going to empower the people by giving them the positions they don't even deserve, simply because these people are good standing members of the ANC, or simply because these people are black. What does it say about black people? The same black people that you are trying to defend. What does it say about them? Do black people deserve to go to government even if they don't qualify? Do we deserve to go to government even if we don't qualify? Now you have people in South Africa, they are drinking dirty water. You have people in South Africa, we don't even have electricity. Crime is totally out of control. And when we say these are the results of cadre deployment, you are saying that no, we are talking bad about people who are not even qualified. The people who are not qualified, there is no space for them in government. If you are not qualified, you have no business working for the government. You have no business working for the government. We need to raise the standards as black people, man. We need to raise the standards.
You can look at all the people who have deployed, who have given you what we have given to the DA. Go and check their qualifications. As cadres of the movement, check them. I challenge you. And come back to...
And do you see how confident Fikile Mbalula is about these people that are on these records they gave the Democratic Alliance? So do you see how confident it is? Do you blame the people when people say that the African National Congress took their time to cook those books? The African National Congress took their time to make sure that the people who appear on those records are the people maybe who at least has qualifications. Man.
Of the movement, check them. I challenge you. And come back to me and say this one did not qualify, did not go to school. DA deploy standard 3s where they govern. They deploy bodybuilders where they govern. That is the strategy of Brother Bond. We are not Brother Bond.
So guys, according to Fikile Mbalula, the African National Congress prioritizes the cadre who are qualified. If you don't believe that the African National Congress actually hires the people who are qualified or deploys the ANC cadres who are qualified, you need to go and check those records that the African National Congress has basically given to the Democratic Alliance. All of these people who keep talking nonsense about the African National Congress and saying that the African National Congress deploys people who are not even qualified, go to the records that the ANC has given to the DA and come back with a report. If you see anyone without qualifications there, come back with a report. I want you to remember what Fikile Mbalula said. The African National Congress prioritizes the cadres who are qualified. The African National Congress prioritizes the cadres who are qualified. So recently the ANC, NEC, they had their meeting, those useless ANC, NEC meeting. I don't even know why the news in South Africa are so interested in these ANC, NEC meetings. I don't know why people are so interested in these ANC, NEC meetings, man. It's not like the country is benefiting anything. It's not like the country is benefiting anything. These people can go on a meeting the whole weekend and you will see the newsrooms there trying to get an interview, the newsrooms trying to get something. Well, what is it that the ANC has concluded in the ANC NEC meeting? Man, I'm saying those meetings are useless because the country is broken down. If these ANC NEC meetings were actually fruitful, the country would be thriving. But because the country is broken down, I see these ANC NEC meetings as useless. To me, they are useless. So recently ANC, they had their useless meeting, the NEC meeting, and they were there to actually compile the list of the candidates who are going to represent the African National Congress on the different legislators. And the issue of qualifications came up again. Guys, I want you to remember what Fikile Mbalula said. The people that the African National Congress deploys are the people who are qualified. Fikile Mbalula is going to be questioned again about this thing of qualifications. And this is what Fikile Mbalula says.
News 24.
News 24. Just a question around the qualifications. People who don't have matric, at which point do they get disqualified? Do they even make it to interview processes? Could you please just clarify on that issue?
Well, qualifications take into consideration a whole lot of things, experience and so on. Other people don't have matric necessarily, but they do have qualification by virtue of prior learning.
Guys, do you want people who don't even have matric to preside over your life? Are you okay with the people who don't even have matric to preside over your life?
And as a result, they went on to study and get degrees and so on. Others don't have qualifications. We will cross that when we get there. But
exactly, the African National Congress will cross that when it gets there. Now he's not so confident about the African National Congress actually deploying the cadres with qualifications. Now he's speaking from both sides of his mouth. First time he was saying that all of the people that we have qualified, all of the people that the African National Congress has actually deployed, these people are qualified. You can go and check the records. These people are qualified. Now we are talking about the list that the African National Congress has actually compiled. Are these people actually qualified? Are these people actually qualified? And this is what Fikile Mbalula is saying.
Attended meeting of what is happening.
I'm sorry, guys.
For an example, if there are people that we feel need to be included in the list and so on, the officials will make that determination. They will make that determination after today, once we've got a sense of what is happening, what areas require intervention and so on. So that will happen later on today when the list is finalized by the extended meeting.
Guys, I want you to pay attention to the fact that Fikile Mbalula said that the African National Congress will cross that bridge when it gets there. We know that we say that we are prioritizing the cadres with the qualifications, but the party will cross that bridge when it gets there. Now, do you think the African National Congress is actually serious about deploying people who are qualified? Do you think the African National Congress is actually serious about deploying the people who are qualified? Man, I think the ANC needs to do a country the whole favor, because I think they've gotten to a point where they are politicizing everything so much that they think that by depriving these records to the DA, it is just politics. But I think they are ignoring an important factor, that even the people on the ground, they want to know what kind of cadres does the African National Congress deploy? What kind of cadres does the African National Congress deploy? Right now, Fikile Mbalula, if you can listen to him properly, he was not confident about saying the people that we are going to deploy as the African National Congress, all of them are qualified. He's giving you all of these technicalities. Some of them, they didn't finish matric. Some of them, but they got to finish their degrees. Some of them, when we talk about qualification, it can mean that someone might have learned on the job. So it means that person is qualified. So he's trying to be technical with the people of South Africa. But if you are if your ears are open, you can hear that Fikile Mbalula is telling you that even some of the people, not some of the people, maybe I can say most, the people that we have actually put on a list to represent the African National Congress. They are not qualified. They are not qualified because if these people were qualified, Fikile Mbalula will be the one to come out swinging and saying that the African National Congress has deployed the people who are qualified. All of the people that were deployed by the ANC, these people are qualified. You know, guys, I wanted to make a funny video about Fikile Mbalula, especially concerning this, man, about looking at the fact that how serious this matter is. I wanted to be funny about it because I know that Fikile Mbalula always says one thing and he comes around and says the another thing. I wanted this video to be fun, but I actually realized that it is actually serious. It is actually serious what is happening in South Africa, man. And the fact that these people are not even committing themselves to deploying the cadres who are qualified. During the scandal of cadre deployment, they are not committing themselves even during that. Guys, this is the South Africa you voted for. This is the African National Congress you voted for. Guys, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part is subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabao, so I will see you next time. Bye bye.